What if 7 beings from ancient times are still alive, walking among us right now? What if they have been here for thousands, maybe millions of years, and they will continue to live until the very end of this world? This is not a fantasy novel. This is what Hindu scriptures have told us for thousands of years. These 7 beings are called the Chiranjeevis, the Immortals. There is a famous Sanskrit shloka that names all 7 of them. It goes, Ashwatthama Baliryaso Hanumanscha Bibhishana Kripa Parashuramasha Saptaite Chiranjeevina. 7 names, 7 extraordinary stories, and each one carries a lesson that is still relevant today. Let us start with the first, Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama was the son of Dronacharya, the great teacher of the Pandavas and Kauravas. He was born with a divine jewel embedded in his forehead, which gave him power over all living beings lower than humans. He was a skilled warrior, trained by his own father. But Ashwatthama is not remembered for his skill. He is remembered for what he did on the darkest night of the Mahabharata war. After the Kauravas lost the war, Ashwatthama was consumed by grief and rage. In the middle of the night, while the Pandava camp was sleeping, he sneaked in and slaughtered the 5 sons of Draupadi. He killed sleeping children. When that was not enough, he fired the Brahmastra, one of the most powerful weapons in existence, at the unborn child in Uttara's womb. That child was Parikshit, the future king. Lord Krishna saved the unborn child and then cursed Ashwatthama. Krishna ripped the jewel from his forehead, leaving a wound that would never heal. And he cursed Ashwatthama to wander the earth for eternity, alone, in pain, with that bleeding wound carrying the guilt of his actions. No one would give him shelter. No one would show him kindness. He would live forever, but it would be a life of suffering. Even today, there are stories from remote villages in India where people claim to have seen a tall, wounded man wandering through forests asking for help. Whether you believe those stories or not, the lesson is clear. Immortality without peace is the worst punishment imaginable. The second Chiranjeevi is King Bali. Bali was a demon king, but not the kind you might expect. He was generous, righteous, and deeply devoted to his word. He conquered all 3 worlds, heaven, earth, and the netherworld, through his own strength and virtue. The gods were terrified because they had lost heaven to a demon king who was actually more righteous than most of them. So Lord Vishnu took his 5th avatar, Vamana, a small Brahmin boy. He went to Bali's court and asked for a simple gift, just 3 steps of land measured by his tiny feet. Bali's guru, Shukracharya, warned him that this was Vishnu in disguise. But Bali refused to go back on his word. He said, "If the Lord himself is asking me for something, it would be my honor to give it." Vamana then grew to a cosmic size. With his first step, he covered the entire earth. With his second step, he covered all of heaven. There was no space left for the 3rd step. Bali, true to his word, bowed down and offered his own head. Vamana placed his foot on Bali's head and pushed him down to the netherworld, Patala Loka. But Vishnu was so impressed by Bali's devotion and generosity that he granted him immortality. He made Bali the king of Patala Loka and promised that Bali would become the Indra, the king of gods, in the next Manvantara, the next cosmic cycle. Bali teaches us that true greatness lies in keeping your word even when it costs you everything. The 3rd Chiranjeevi is Vyasa. Vyasa is perhaps the most important intellectual figure in all of Hindu tradition. He is the one who compiled the 4 Vedas, Rig, Yajur, Sama, and Atharva. He wrote the Mahabharata, the longest epic ever composed in human history. He authored the 18 Puranas. He gave us the Brahma Sutras. The sheer volume of knowledge that came from one mind is staggering. Vyasa was the son of sage Parashurama and Satyavati. He was born on an island in the Yamuna River, which is why he is called Dvaipayan, island-born. His skin was dark, so he was also called Krishna Dvaipayana. Vyasa was granted immortality because his work was not finished. The knowledge he carries must be preserved and transmitted across ages. He is said to still be alive, meditating in a cave somewhere in the Himalayas, watching over the spiritual evolution of humanity. Every Guru Purnima, Hindus honor Vyasa as the first and greatest guru. The 4th Chiranjeevi needs no introduction, Hanuman. Hanuman is the son of Vayu, the wind god, and the greatest devotee of Lord Ram. His strength is unmatched. He once leaped across the entire ocean to reach Lanka. He carried an entire mountain on his palm because he could not identify the right medicinal herb to save Lakshman's life. He set Lanka on fire with his tail. And yet, despite all this power, Hanuman is the picture of humility. When Ram asked Hanuman what he was, Hanuman replied, "When I think of my body, I am your servant. When I think of myself as a soul, I am a part of you. And when I think of the ultimate truth, you and I are one." That answer contains the entire philosophy of Hindu devotion in 3 sentences. Hanuman was granted immortality because his devotion to Ram is eternal. As long as the name of Ram is spoken in this world, Hanuman will be present. He is said to attend every recitation of the Ramayana. There are countless stories of people encountering Hanuman in various forms: an old man, a child, a monkey, especially at places where Ram's name is chanted with pure devotion. The 5th Chiranjeevi is Vibhishana. Vibhishana was Ravan's younger brother. Unlike Ravan, Vibhishana was devoted to Dharma, righteousness. He tried repeatedly to convince Ravan to return Sita to Ram and avoid the war. But Ravan refused to listen. Ravan humiliated Vibhishana in his own court, calling him a traitor and kicking him out of Lanka. Vibhishana then went to Ram and surrendered. This was not an easy decision. He left his family, his home, his kingdom, everything, because he chose Dharma over blood ties. Ram accepted Vibhishana with open arms and promised him protection. After the war, when Ravan was defeated, Ram crowned Vibhishana as the king of Lanka. And Ram granted him immortality so that he could rule Lanka with righteousness and guide beings on the path of Dharma until the end of Kali Yuga. Vibhishana teaches us that choosing the right path is often the hardest path, but it is always worth it. The 6th Chiranjeevi is Kripacharya. Kripacharya is one of the most overlooked figures in the Mahabharata, but his story is fascinating. He and his twin sister Kripi were found as abandoned babies in a clump of grass by King Shantanu. Shantanu raised them in the royal court. Kripa became a master of warfare and was appointed as the first teacher of both the Pandavas and the Kauravas, even before Dronacharya. Kripa fought on the side of the Kauravas in the Mahabharata war, but he survived. He was one of only 3 warriors from the Kaurava side who survived all 18 days of battle. After the war, he became the teacher of Parikshit, the next generation king. Kripa was granted immortality because of his dedication to teaching and his role in preserving the knowledge of warfare and Dharma across generations. He is the eternal teacher, always present, always ready to pass on knowledge. His immortality reminds us that the role of a true teacher never ends. The 7th and final Chiranjeevi is Parashurama. Parashurama is the 6th avatar of Lord Vishnu, and he is unlike any other avatar. He is a Brahmin by birth, but a warrior by nature. His name means Ram with an axe, and that axe was given to him by Lord Shiva himself after years of intense penance. Parashurama's story is one of rage and righteousness. When a powerful king named Kartavirya Arjuna killed his father, sage Jamadagni, Parashurama was filled with fury. He took his axe and went on a campaign that shook the world. He defeated the Kshatriya warrior class, not once, not twice, but 21 times. He literally cleared the earth of corrupt warriors 21 times. The blood flowed so much that he created 5 lakes of blood, the Samanta Panchaka. But Parashurama is not just about destruction. He is also a great teacher. He taught Bhishma the art of warfare. He taught Drona. He even taught Karna. Some of the greatest warriors of the Mahabharata era were trained by Parashurama. He was granted immortality because his role is not yet finished. According to the Puranas, when Kalki, the final avatar of Vishnu, appears at the end of Kali Yuga, Parashurama will be his guru. He will train Kalki in warfare and spiritual knowledge. So Parashurama waits, somewhere in the mountains, preparing for that final chapter of this cosmic age. Now, step back and look at these 7 immortals together. Each one represents something different. Ashwatthama represents the consequence of wrong action, immortality as punishment. Bali represents generosity and honor. Vyasa represents knowledge and wisdom. Hanuman represents devotion and service. Vibhishana represents choosing Dharma over comfort. Kripa represents the eternal teacher. And Parashurama represents divine justice. Together, they form a complete picture of what it means to live a meaningful life. Knowledge, devotion, righteousness, generosity, courage, teaching, and the understanding that every action has a consequence. There is a beautiful tradition in Hindu culture. Every morning, devotees recite the names of the 7 Chiranjeevis. It is said that remembering them at the start of your day removes obstacles and brings long life. But more than that, it is a daily reminder of the values they stand for. Whether these 7 beings are literally walking the earth right now or whether they exist as powerful symbols, that is for you to decide. But one thing is certain. Their stories have survived for thousands of years because they carry truths that never get old. And in a world that is constantly changing, maybe that is the real immortality, not of the body, but of the message.